welcome to Beware of Spoilers. I am Adam. Let's talk about Harley Quinn. Finally getting around to doing this episode. I recorded the other night, but my car was making a weird noise, so I wanted to keep the talking to a minimum. I didn't know if that noise would be picked up by the microphone. Yesterday, there was big news about new things happening at Warner Bros. Discovery. Then I was like, cool, let's see what this is, and let's talk about, the wider implications of what that means for the industry as a whole, and considering they're dumping out these announcements at inopportune hours, specifically designed to keep, I would say to keep people from really taking notice, because if you dump out the news that you're canceling a TV show at, 10:30 at night on a Monday, odds are it's news you don't want people to see. So that occupied yesterday, and then on my way home yesterday I was busy, so I had to make multiple stops. But here we are with Harley Quinn. Now, this episode was interesting. I seem to recall there being a very Bruce Wayne-centric episode in Season 2. It makes sense they would do the kind of Joker-centric episode in Season 3. Putting Joker in this position as kind of a dad who just cares, or a stepdad who just cares about his stepkids is kind of great. And it works very well for using him in a different way than we would normally see him. And it's still, fun. And putting him in the run for mayor after, after the old mayor died and Gordon was running unopposed, and it's just Joker. It's just Gordon. Is great. The whole thing is a really interesting kind of approach to. Really, this episode feels like it's funny. It's probably one of the funniest episodes of the season, but it does a lot of laying the narrative groundwork, for lack of a better word, like laying the infrastructure needed to fully understand what's going on in this, in this world they've built. And it does it pretty well. I'm not going to take that away from it. It does it very well. Just that way we have a full understanding of where we're going forward from here. I don't know. It is just kind of... I don't really know what else to say about it. I mean, it's like, the whole plot of him running for mayor to get one over on another mom in the school is kind of great. One of the funniest lines in the episode is at the very end when, in an effort to get him to drop out, Two-Face kidnaps his stepson, and they're on the roller coaster, and he's like, oh my god, Superman's here to save us, and then Gordon's the one who lands, and he's like, oh no, it's just Gordon. Starts screaming against son. Like, it is a very well done episode, and it is very much trying to feel like a family sitcom from the 90s, like I would say late 80s, early 90s, but I think it does it very well. So it's an interesting kind of approach to do it that way, and use that as the framing device to bring the story to the next part, bring the story to the part where we now have the full the full relationship between between Joker and Harley Quinn having this new paradigm, as Joker now has control of Gotham legally as the mayor. And his campaign being he's going into banks and robbing it and giving the money back to the people is great, and it's all really funny stuff all the way through the entire episode. I know I don't sound super enthusiastic. I'm just really tired today. But yeah, I mean, I'm interested to see where the show goes from here. See if this will be a long-term paradigm shift, or if it'll just be a this season paradigm shift where the Joker is in Gotham. And was this the episode? No, Batman's not even in this episode. It's all Joker, because Batman broke up with Catwoman in the last episode. But anyway, if you have not checked out Harley Quinn yet, you definitely should. It is available to watch on HBO Max for the time being, until they decide to pull it so we don't have to pay writers' royalties anymore, in which case you'll be able to watch seasons 1 and 2 on DVD, if you find the DVD, and beyond that, you're just up shit's creek without a paddle. And that's something else I was thinking about, too, and I know this isn't the discussion I did yesterday on 30-minute reviews, but, looking broadly at where we are with this new culture of subscription services for everything, be it, like, I pay for DaVinci Resolve. I paid $300 for the full DaVinci Resolve, and I get access to the software. That is, my license to use the software. It's not, I'm not paying a, what's it called? I'm not paying a premium. I'm paying, like, I'm on a monthly basis, the same way I would be with Adobe or other software like Microsoft Office. I gotta pay a monthly fee to use. But this idea of, everything going subscription-based and no one really owning anything anymore, I mean, people's desire for convenience kind of dug their own grave on this for a certain extent. Like, look at how Discovery has handled putting their stuff on Netflix in the past. Because House Hunters International, other shows like that were on Netflix. And they were, Netflix original shows. Not Netflix original shows, they were Netflix content in their streaming stuff. And what ends up happening is what's the word I'm looking for here? They did a lot to ensure that, they didn't give you the full show. Like, House Hunters went on for decades, you didn't get the full show. Now, I don't have Discovery Plus, and I'm not going to go out of my way to pay for Discovery Plus. If it gets merged into HBO Max, I might use it then. But I'm not going to go out of my way to pay for Discovery Plus. The thing is, what's the word I'm looking for here? With this, I would bet money that Discovery Plus does not have full back catalogs on it. I would bet a good amount of money that Discovery Plus does not have full back catalogs. You can't go on there and watch all of House Hunters, or you can't go back and watch Trading Spaces. You can't go back and watch all of these shows. I think that would be a fair bet. And I think that's part of the problem that we're dealing with here with the HBO Max Discovery Plus merger. Namely that we're looking at two different distribution styles. And the thing is, too, it's like, when we talk about home media, we typically don't talk about things that are on Discovery networks as part of home media, because how many people are going to go out and buy a DVD of, say, House Hunters, or Chopped, or, any number of other things like that. They don't do it, because there's very little market for it. And that's the point, is that, with no market for it, they're not going to make it. But, I know it sounds like I'm just picking on Discovery and Warner Brothers right now, but, even, Marvel Studios, has moved away somewhat, not completely, from their physical releases. Where looking at, the Disney Plus shows, they didn't get physical releases. You can't go to a store and buy WandaVision on DVD. You can't go to a store and buy Loki or Falcon and the Winter Soldier on DVD. You have to get it through Disney Plus. If you don't have Disney Plus, you can't watch it unless you pirate it. I'm not saying you should. I think it's just something to think about, where it's like, as we look at, this whole situation, what percent of what's going on with the situation has to do with the migration away from ownership of things we pay for? Because that's the big thing now, is that we're paying more money for things over a longer period of time, and at the end of the day, we're not owning any of it. It's not ours. And you can debate whether or not a license makes it yours for digital content, but at the end of the day, if I went out and bought a disc that had Microsoft Office on it, before they went over to subscription model with Office 365, if I bought like Office 07 or Office 2010 or something like that, I would have the disc, I would have the code, I would be able to install it myself. There would be nothing to keep me from doing that. Problem is, now with Office 365, you have to pay $20 a month, I think, for it. And it's like, things like that are examples where it's like HBO Max, you're paying $15 a month to have access to these things, and now they can just pull it and it may not be there anymore. And then if you wanted to watch it again, or you wanted to show it to your friend or something, tough shit. But we'll wrap up there for today. And until our next episode, have a great rest of your week.